Today we're continuing our in-depth look at Star Wars Visions Volume 2 with the 8th short, The Pit, by Lucasfilm and D'art Shtajio. Leandri Thomas, who wrote, directed, and produced the short, has worked at Lucasfilm for over a decade. He had the idea for The Pit back in 2020 during the rise of COVID and unrest across the country. The influences of that time, as well as all of American history, are clear. The main story follows a group of prisoners forced by stormtroopers to dig a pit searching for kyber crystals. As they dig deeper and deeper, the treasures they find help build a city that reaches to the sky. You can draw parallels to both slavery and current prison labor laws in the United States. When the bottom of the pit is reached and there's no more kyber to be mined, the prisoners are freed, which is wonderful, but they're all left at the bottom of the pit with no support. One of the workers, Crux, is able to climb out of the pit and reach the city he and the others helped build, which is literally called Crystal City in Arabesh. He begs for help from the citizens who had no idea of the foundation on which their home was built, but he's stopped by the Empire and thrown back into the pit where he supposedly belongs. U.S. history classes will often point at the emancipation of slaves as if that was magically the end of racism in America, and if you went to school in the South like I did, you might even be taught that slavery wasn't so bad to begin with, which is, of course, completely absurd. But when slavery ended, the people whose hard work built this country still had the deck stacked against them. They weren't given a support system, they were left in the pit. And still to this day, the problems aren't all fixed. There are people in the government who want to pretend America has always been some perfect beacon of morality. They will oppose a true confrontation of slavery in the classroom as if ignoring that history will somehow make it go away. But education and facing uncomfortable truths is required for our country to grow and evolve. The people of Crystal City aren't bad. They simply don't have all the facts. The stormtroopers and the people in power didn't want their citizens to know their city had this dark secret they quite literally tried to keep buried. But learning about the injustices of the past opens our eyes and helps us avoid repeating the cycle over and over. As Crux says, every person has an inner light that helps guide us the right way. The light side, our conscience. As Yoda would tell Luke, it's the piece of us that can tell right from wrong when we are still and calm. The citizens of Crystal City follow the cries for help rising from the pit. They see the truth for themselves and reject the demands of the stormtroopers, who are quickly overwhelmed. The citizens could have left everyone in the pit, it would have been easier, but they choose what is right over what is easy. They use their resources to help the people that gathered those same resources. They didn't have to lend a helping hand, there was nobody forcing them to. They followed their light, and hopefully the future of this planet won't show such a massive disparity of wealth and power. I think that hope is founded as we see the little girl, Livy, holding the kyber she and her family mined. Instead of passing on that wealth to someone else, she is holding the fruits of her labor, and we see her bond with the crystal. We have no idea what she'll use the crystal for, but whatever it is, it'll be something different and unique to her. If she has the destiny of a Jedi, she will use that kyber to continue helping people who need it. She can perpetuate a cycle of compassion and progress rather than a cycle of oppression, and that is a very Star Wars story to tell. One of the most interesting aspects of Visions Volume 2 is how different creators can boil Star Wars down to its core ideals and tell a new story through a different cultural lens. We've seen news stories from all over the world, and while the pit began in America, it's an American perspective that still needs to be explored and understood. But those are my thoughts on the pit. Let me know what you thought of the short in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.